Hi everyone, I'm Derek. This is There Will Be Cars. Welcome to the channel. So on There Will Be Cars, I cover new cars. So there will be trucks, there will be off-road SUVs, and of course, there will be cars. Today, I'm here at AutoNation Ford in Frisco, near Dallas, for a Shelby event. Now, Shelby's been cool enough to bring out two cars for me and my colleagues to drive. They have a Super Snake, supercharged 800 horsepower, and they've got a GTH that's been supercharged to 700 horsepower. Yeah, hopefully here in a few minutes the line will die down a little bit so I can get a chance to drive one of those. Time permitting, I'll drive the other one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, keep watching, and I hope you like what you see.
Carroll surrounded himself with good people, and really that's what keeps the legacy going. It's we lost Carroll in 2012 in May, but the legacy continues because of that. It also continues because of enthusiasts like some of you people here and your cars that you bring. The owners of the cars, the people that have the cars, the people that have it up on their wish list, their bucket list. Someday I'll own a Shelby. And that's pretty cool. So we're here to help make those dreams come true. Okay. So with that, we can certainly do a walk around on these cars whenever you guys want to do that. But happy to do that. If you also don't feel like driving, would you rather experience the performance of the vehicle and let somebody else drive?
We're here discussing the Shelby GTH and the Super Snake today. So. Sounds like somebody heard.
I think so.
Perfect. So yeah, if you could just give us a little background on the event today and the two cars that y'all have out here.
Definitely. Yeah, so this is it's surrounding our annual Shelby car show that we do at Legacy, Texas, and we decided to do a media day today. We've always evolving the cars, and so we brought a couple Super Snakes out today, along with the GTH, which we rolled out earlier this year. And that's a little bit dialed down from a performance perspective, also from a cost perspective. So that's kind of the entry-level Shelby, if you will. Still got some good performance upgrades to it. And then the Super Snake obviously is the top end. We've got the supercharger on there, 700-800 horsepower, depending on how you want to dial it in. Suspension upgrades. We've got some other cosmetic upgrades as well. So we just want to give people a chance to kind of experience these cars a little bit in the wild. We've got Gary Patterson out giving ride and drives right now, so everybody can see what's going on. And it's been a lot of fun so far. We got a good day for it. And excited to be here at AutoNation Ford to be able to let them kind of show the parking lot.
Oh, wonderful. And so if there's, obviously you've been in all the different models. Is there one thing aside from power that you would say distinguishes the GTH from the Super Snake? Like something in terms of the feel or just the personality?
So I think the GTH is a more, I'll call it a manageable car. If you want a daily driver, but you want that sort of thrill of having the Shelby, I think the GTH is fantastic. You've got some suspension upgrades and brake upgrades and things like that that make it a little more drivable. The Super Snake, you're talking about power, and it's a lot of fun, and people use it as a daily driver. But I think for the common buyer, the Super Snake's more of a weekend car, a track car. You're going to get just more excitement out of that. And that's, I think, the big differences in the two cars.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, as far as reaction when you're out on the street and let's say the Super Snake, from other Mustang drivers, what is generally the response or the behavior of them when they're out on the road?
It's usually a big grin and a big thumbs up. They understand what it is, particularly Mustang owners. They get that we're talking the high end of the Mustang line with the Super Snake, and they understand the performance and the aspects of bringing it into being a Shelby. And I think that excitement's fun. Even today when I drive my GT350 around, which is a great car, I get a lot of looks and a lot of thumbs up from other drivers on that. It's there's several thousand of those out on the road, but it's still fun to go see one in the wild, so to speak.
Oh yeah, and do they ever do like flybys or challenge you to race or anything like that?
Not as much. It's more they slow down and try and take some pictures. That's
that makes sense.
That's what I see more.
And as far as reaction from non-Mustang drivers, let's say like Charger or Challenger Hellcat drivers?
Oh, I think they get a little more challenging. They may run up to you on the highway and try and get you to goad you into a little racing or something. So that's going to be driver personality if you want to do that. So
oh yeah,
it just depends. you want to be safe out there for sure.
Definitely, yeah. And then, yeah, I can understand, yeah, people just want to show what their car's got, and especially if, you know, they have a different manufacturer, you know. So I have to ask you about the GT500. Obviously, you know, I understand there are certain constraints to what can be revealed right now, but on a more unofficial level, what is something you would say about that car that maybe, you know, the media and people, you know, outside of the media might not know about it, like a little quirk or a little personality trait?
Well, I think something that's going to be interesting out there, and it's been talked about a little bit, but it's going to be a great straight line car and a great track car. You know, they've really done a good job, the Ford engineers, of combining the two into one package, and it's going to be superior on the track and in a straight line, whether it's the drag strip or whatnot. And I think that's going to really surprise some people when they get behind the wheel. The technology in it, you know, the GT350 was a leap in technology for what it was, and it's still an awesome car. And then the GT500 is another leap in technology that just provides a little more, I don't know if you want to call it excitement or drivability to it, but it's going to be a fantastic vehicle.
So I'm in the GTH right now. Just give you a quick tour. Got the all digital gauges there, auxiliary pod, and it's a stick. Should be fun. All right. So on the road in the GTH. Boy, does it sound good. Clutch is really substantial, feels a bit heavier than what I've experienced in other Mustangs, but it fits the attitude and the packaging of the car. I mean, this is, you know, supercharged, a lot of horsepower. This one, I understand, makes 700 horsepower as it is right now. So the feel of the clutch definitely fits the personality of it. Yeah, you know, this is hopped up on boost and horsepower, but it doesn't feel wildly different from another Mustang, which is good because, you know, it doesn't feel foreign or alien or off-putting. You know, you feel it's familiar, but it just has more power. So it's a great combination. But yeah, at these speeds, you know, it's not terribly loud. Going over the waves in the pavement, suspension feels normal, you know, compliant, not overly stiff or harsh. Fifth gear, it's pulling. Okay, everyone, I am here in the Shelby Super Snake. So it's been supercharged to 800 horsepower. This is an automatic model. I've got it in Sport Plus, and I've got the 10-speed automatic in its sport setting. And I'm lucky enough to be here with Gary Patterson from Shelby. If you wouldn't mind, Gary, just telling my viewers a little bit about your history with the brand and with the cars.
Well, you know, I've had a history with the brand for a long time. I've actually been with the company 22 and a half years. I've been a car guy since my dad, you know, brought me home from the hospital being born, you know, so it's been a while. And he had a high-performance Mustang convertible back in '65, and I still own a '69 Mach 1 with a 428 that I bought in high school.
Oh, wow.
And then I've got a few fun Shelbys now. So I've been a car guy for a long time, and this is a passion of mine. And so we've got a bunch of car people running a car company, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great combination. And you know, I like the fact that you not only have that old school, you know, such a cool car, but that you've had it for so long. You've got that personal history with it.
You know, that's really fun. And my wife even has a '68 GT500 Shelby that she had before I met her.
Wow.
So it's awesome.
Meant
so
to be.
We're a car family. And, you know, we like performance cars, but the good old days are today. You've got the old ones, but you got these new ones. They're just so cool, and they're fast, and they're, you know, they blow clean air, but they turn and they stop, and they got all these cool creature comforts and stuff. And so you can just have the best of both worlds.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of the newer cars, if you could just kind of pan around here and show everybody what we're surrounded by. You got this blue stitching, auxiliary gauges. Of course, you got the big digital display there.
Display, get that. Got some gauges here.
And even those kind of have a purplish blue tint to them.
Yeah, and you can change colors and so forth. And then you got a hood that's Shelby designed. So if you look at this car carefully, you'll see that you know, it's got a lot of unique features. We didn't just put a hood scoop on the stock hood. We did stuff. We actually completely redesigned the hood on this car. The whole front fascia is different. The grill's different. You know, we did different wheels and tires and brakes and suspension. And there's a lot of things that you can't see, like upgraded half shafts to be able to handle the power that this car has. So it's really a full package, you know, cooling system and everything that's designed, you know, to handle it even when you get on the gas hard.
Which I intend to do. So should I get over to the left?
Yeah, you can yeah, just drive the car, pay attention, and know when you stick your foot in it, it'll go. But it'll, you know, it's an automatic, so you got to anticipate a little bit, but it's, yeah, you stick your foot in, keep it in there, and it'll get your attention quick. But it also builds speed very, very fast.
Oh, I can imagine.
You know.
Should we get on there?
It's up to you. It'll put a smile on your face.
Oh, it definitely does. And yeah, the brakes are immediately responsive. I mean, you can just, the slightest pressure on the pedal, you can feel them starting to clamp down.
Well, and the good thing too is it's going to be hard to tell for this, but they don't just work once. If you take them to the track, they work lap after lap after lap. So they have very good repeatability.
No fade.
No fade, you know, just keeps going and going and going. So, you know, a lot of the older magazines, I used to read the test, and they have really good braking from 60 to 0. What they didn't tell you is they were only able to do it once. You know, and, you know, when you get to racing on the track, and I did a lot of that, you know, stopping in the second turn is important too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
So we always laughed about that. The repeatability is very, very important. But, you know, this car you could live with and drive every day. You could commute with it. Yet it's got 800 horsepower and it's emissions legal on pump gas. What's not to like?
Yeah, and it's 50 state legal?
Yep, 50 state emissions legal.
Perfect.
Passes all of the CARB and EO requirements for everything. So it's really cool.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I can imagine people everywhere wanting one of these.
Oh yeah, well, it takes you extra time to get gas because there's usually a crowd of people when you're trying to put fuel in the car asking questions, which is pretty neat.
I could see that happening, definitely.
Oh yeah. But this thing's like a big go-kart too, you know, it really handles well, doesn't wallow in the corners, so there's a lot of time and money into suspension and stuff in this car too, so that takes it.
And so the as far as the suspension goes and the electronic connection and everything, I take it you all do like custom tuning for like the different drive modes and the throttle tuning and suspension for each one of them?
Yeah, well, the throttle tuning is usually done by the supercharger manufacturer because it needs to be calibrated for emissions compliance as well. So you can't mess with that too much. But the suspension, we've actually taken our cars and gone down to Penske and put it on their shaker system like they do at the Indy cars and stuff like that, so that we can properly evaluate the suspension and make those changes, not just guess at it.
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not just bolting on a bunch of parts.
As far as the engine goes, can you go into the specifics, like, what you use as the starting point, what kind of supercharger capacity for it and all that? Yeah,
so this particular car is a Mustang with a 5.0 engine, so it's 302 cubic inches, and it's a 32 valve double overhead cam, variable valve timing V8, and it's virtually stock inside. The internal components have not been changed to get this kind of power. But what is different is the Whipple supercharger, and so with that, that puts a lot more pressure in the engine, and an engine's just a big air pump. And so when you put more air in and you add some more fuel to it, you make a lot more power. So, and then we changed the exhaust. It's got a a custom Borla exhaust. We've been good friends with Alex and David that run Borla for many years, and Carroll was good friends with them. And it's really a good blend of, you know, street throaty sound, not too obnoxious and in your face, but also, you know, not quiet like you would find in a luxury car. So this one will still bark at you if you wanted to. Straighten out here.
Man, yeah, you hear like this shredding sound. You know,
oh, yeah.
It's not just blower whine. It's like something's being destroyed. It's to give you that speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I should be frightened. I shouldn't be so like gung ho right now, but I am. I mean, it's just
good.
That's great. Okay, everyone. Well, that's it for me at this Shelby dealer event here in Frisco. It's been a lot of fun. I hope it's been fun for you. I wish it was a little longer, but hey, what can you do? You know, traffic here was a little thick, basically hit rush hour, but tried to get in some good pulls for y'all, and for me, of course. It's a lot of fun being in these monsters, and yeah, you know, being in the Super Snake, it felt more lively, felt more excited and restless than the GTH. And part of that obviously is the fact that it has 100 more horsepower, but just everything about the suspension, the general feel of the car, it just felt even more ready to go than the GTH, which is saying a lot considering that at 700 horsepower. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to There Will Be Cars, and I hope to see you on the channel next time.